What's up, everybody? Ben here. Got the four-seater back from the wrap shop. After our Thanksgiving ride, I took this to a shop called Big Slick Graphics. They're in Alva, Oklahoma. It's only like 25 minutes away from Winoka and the Little Sahara Sand Dunes State Park. And yeah, it's funny, the owner of Big Slicks and the owner of Little Sahara Sand Sports are like business partners. So Big Slick and Little Sahara Sand Sports are kind of affiliated. But anyways, I just wanted a solid color. This is the first car that I've wrapped and not painted that I wanted to do a complete color change on. One reason is because this Razor it's like black and gray, so it's kind of a neutral starting point. It's not like I'm trying to cover up orange or something like that. So, and then also time and expense. I don't have to disassemble anything. I just take in the car and drop it off and then pick it up later. The wrap looks good. It looks really good. There's a few things that we're gonna change. Basically, he ran out of the blue vinyl up front. So I wanted the fangs to get wrapped. I think that's a cool look, but the hood, it's just a little too blocky. He had more of it wrapped before, but then he kind of experimented with cutting out certain sections. So it's got these funny shapes and stuff up here. But, you know, when you're wrapping a Razor, there's so many like different planes. So it's a little bit of a challenge when you have all these little geometric shapes. You know, you got triangles here and there. So painting it is definitely a different approach than wrapping it. So he ran out, and when he gets more, I'm gonna take him this hood and we'll change the hood and maybe do some more of these flat surfaces. But I love the color. It's nice and bright. It's almost a perfect match for my powder coating, which is on the rings and the suspension arms and stuff. So that's cool. Also, it is time for me to start the wiring now that I've got it back here in my shop in Lubbock. If you hear the noise, it's because it's cold in here and I'm snuggling up to my new girlfriend right here. It is cold in here. So anyways, so I will start the electronics. If you watched any of my other videos recently about this car, you know, I just ran the wire in the back for like these Quicklight Whips in here that I have not hooked up. I just mounted them and zip tied the wire. So I'm also going to change I got a few interior things that I'll get to. Let me go check that out. Got some door bags for the inside, so you have a nice cushion and a place to store your things while you're riding. I got a TMW bumper that I disassembled and had the insert and the bar powder coated blue. This is a interior dash panel from a company named R1 Industries or something. I'll get to that later. That's gonna hold the Switch Pro and some rocker switches and stuff that goes on the dash. And then, let me, hang on real quick. That's a good squirt. Let me get these other pieces here. I forgot to lay them out. I have this, like no joke, digging out from behind. Okay, so I have this iPad mini. I've had this thing like since my second Wildcat that was blue. I use that as GPS or whatever in that Wildcat. So for this Razor, sorry I got crap everywhere. For this Razor, I got this dash piece that holds the iPad. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then I got a replacement steering wheel with the blue inserts and blue details and stuff on it. So that'll be a nice addition to really dress up the interior. And now that I've had a car, that RS1 I bought came with an Assault Industries aftermarket steering wheel. I really like them. So I'm gonna try to find a way to put them in all the cars. I don't know if the kids want them in the YXZs or not, but definitely putting one in this Razor. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. All right, so just a progress update here. I installed this bumper, got some little screws and nuts at Home Depot just to get that insert back in, and then I installed that bumper. It's not very hard. As usual with TMW, there's basically no instructions, so I had to figure that out. And then also put in these door bags. Same deal, not really any instructions, but this is pretty self-explanatory. I wasn't really sure like if the bag had to go in between the bracket and the door skin or between this bracket and the nut. I kind of figured out the way that I thought it should go. But those are cool. I already like having those just because of the noise dampening, and also the knee pad is going to be nice. I kind of started disassembling parts of the dash. I'm going to pull the steering wheel soon and get these other parts rolling and start doing the wiring pretty soon. Just haven't got to that point yet. All right, so now I've got this R1 Industries dash piece. It goes right here like this. I just disassembled this top dash. It's not hard to do. A few little push pins, and then I popped out these little plastic covers that go in each switch spot that I have dropped there. And now it looks like I've got to cut these out. I wasn't aware I was going to have to cut the dash apart for this product, but there's no instructions, but this is obviously what needs to happen. So I'm going to take out these two factory switches here for the headlights and the four-wheel drive switch, and then I will I've got a vibrating saw, and I'm just going to cut that into one big rectangle. I would just cut these things off, but I have to clear the middle for the switch row keypad there. So obviously the center few here need to be cut out anyway. So I'm just going to make a big rectangle and make sure that this thing is going to hide the gaps. All right, so that's how much I opened that up. Just used one of these little vibrating Milwaukee saws. I think that's how much the center needs to be done. But it appears that the round holes for the 12-volt connection and the ignition connection don't line up. So I think I'm gonna have to waller out both of those. I mean, I can get one of them to align, but then look how far off that one is. So I'm gonna figure out which one is the less of the evil. That doesn't look like it's gonna work. It's hanging off too far. So I think I'm gonna end up with something in the middle. So I think I'm gonna have to open up both of those holes to get this in. All right, so here it is. The final cut I had to make was kind of a racetrack shape, kind of an oval that covered all of these holes all together. And then I just drilled like little, I think it's like an 1/8 inch hole for each one of these screws, and there's a little lock nut that goes, a little nylon lock nut on the back of each. So now I just got to pull the wiring through, put the ignition back through, stuff like that. I'll pull those through, and then this car is very sandy. I guess there was just a ton of sand that got blasted through, even behind the dash at some point. So I'm gonna get these wires through, put the switches and stuff back in. I'll show you what the final product looks like soon. All right, so there it is. I just tightened up those fasteners, the little lock nuts on the back. The factory inserts do fit, so these two that I'm not using fit right in. All of these went right in. So since I powder coated this, it's powder coated Prismatic Powders Mayhem Blue to match other parts on the car. It did add like a little bit of extra material, and so it got kind of tight tolerances putting the fasteners in, the little bolts, and also putting this in were a little tight, so I had to kind of file some corners and stuff. But anyways, here it is. Good product. I like it. It's pretty cool. So now I'm going to proceed with putting the new dash piece on up here, and but first I got to wire up I got to change around all this wiring and put the Switch Pro in. All right, so got some more interior stuff done. Got the Switch Pro keypad installed. Put this little, it's like a dashboard mount. I've seen them on the Can-Am X3s before, and then put my iPad in there. Mounted this 10-inch Baja Designs Onyx 6 on the front bumper. Haven't ran the wire or anything yet, it's just laying in there. And then mounted my Switch Pro underneath here and started some of the wiring. So it's trucking along, but I probably got another day's worth of wiring still. And then fire up the Switch Pro. It was kind of a late night. I didn't film last night. I was in here till about midnight and ready to go to bed. So I'll do some progress today. All right, so did some of this wiring under here. I only ride in sand, so I don't really have to worry much about moisture or anything like that. You know, this is gonna open down there, so mounting the Switch Pro in here and having exposed connections and stuff may not be something you should do if you ride in mud or water. But I do use heat shrinked crimp connectors on anything that's passing current. And I put caps on unused ends. So whatever. I basically tapped into the power of that factory lug block, that terminal block they have. Also tapped into ignition and kind of did an extra ground there and there. So I've got, you know, lots of grounding. I like to ground a chassis whenever I have a chance. So, but everything works. It's good. I got all these new lights. I'm going to be excited about using this vehicle at night with passengers. Lots of good extra lights. Put the labels on the Switch Pro. And wiring back here for all the devices. So the quick lights with the integrated brake light, the freaking laser beams, and you might be able to see under there I have like a loom with some wires and stuff. Those are my grounds attached to the chassis. And then you have to tap into the brake light. Back here I tapped in right there with that loom. And that also goes under some of the underglow lights that are right there. So anyways, that's kind of the wiring stuff. You'll notice I added a fire extinguisher. And so I've got the steering wheel I'm gonna do next. And I'm thinking about trying my hand at doing some of this wrap. I just wanted more blue on the hood, so I think I'm gonna do this. I got it laying out, trying to flatten it now. So I've heard that you just kind of put some soapy water and squeegee it out and then cut your edges. So we'll see. I'm concerned about making some of these edges and stuff like that. So I'm probably just gonna mess it up, but I'll try it first. I got enough vinyl, I think, here to do it twice. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'll get that steering wheel on. I'll probably just do a separate video about the steering wheel, and then I'll kind of go from there. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.